another game. We were very, very happy, of course, to be playing with 11 men today. But a similar grit, a similar mentality, a similar resoluteness about how we defended and got behind the ball. But, this time around, I thought we did very well with 11 men attacking, stringing passes together. I thought we played very well tonight. Very complete game.
How does it feel to be going back to the College Cup?
Yeah, these guys. It's always listen. It never gets old. It's my fourth trip, and it never ever gets old. But it's the first time for these guys. And it's a different look and brightness and freshness and excitement about the group, about going to the College Cup. The College Cup is something special. So they deserve it. I told them to enjoy it until they're done showering in the locker room, and then we turn the page and get ready for the College Cup.
This was kind of at the beginning of the season, you'd probably call it an inexperienced team, fairly. But now these guys have played. It seems to really have evolved from kind of a young team.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. I really think, I know, Jeff, you and I talked about my scheduling, all along. This schedule that we put together, when early on, we could have killed us, to be honest with you. That the margins we were 1-3, the margins were tight. And we started winning, and I know we tied a few, but we weren't losing, and we were winning, and we were getting better. But along the way, we were developing this toughness, this mental toughness, and along with playing well and figuring each other out and believing in each other. And I think what you have now, it's not just a gritty team. It is that, but it's also a good soccer team. These guys are good. They're stringing passes together. They're making great runs in the attacking half of the field in front of the goal, and we're scoring goals and creating chances. It's a good team.
Darius seems to be more. Just seems to have gotten more and more dangerous as the season gone on.
I saw. Listen, I saw a dimension to him today. It was probably the best game I've seen him play here. I know he didn't score in the Notre Dame game. At Notre Dame was pretty close, but this game he had a guy on him that was 6'4", 190 pounds. A foot taller than him, almost. And he played him like he's holding him off and taking fouls and beating him off the dribble and holding the ball up and connecting on his passes. He was outstanding. And Marcus Solani up front. The dynamic of those two are very, very tough to deal with. But Darius had a great game.
Was Jordan's goal?
I have to see. I was told it was an own goal.
Really?
Yeah. All I saw was, listen, I thought we scored on the header that got cleared off the line. I was already on the field, and I think it was the subsequent corner that resulted in that clearance that we scored on. So I think we had them pinned back a little bit. I think we started the second half well. All of a sudden I look up at the shots, and we're 4 or 5 shots, and we got them pressed in a little bit, and we got a goal out of it.
What about Zinkhan's growth as an offensive weapon?
Yeah.
He's had growing
not just from that standpoint, but there's more of a steadiness about him, and what I'll tell you is, as he's a tireless worker, great engine, fast, right? He doesn't have that look in his eye, that deer in the headlight as you're chasing and the game's going on, and he's got an experienced, kind of resolute guy that, as he's chasing, as he's really tired, as it's a 1-goal lead, that he's got this look on his face like he's an experienced guy. We've been here before, and I think that's what this team's turned into in general. Yeah.
When you haven't been to the College Cup, it's been 4 years
Yep.
now, so do you appreciate it even more, kind of getting back?
Yeah. Listen, it never gets old for me either. There's 203 Division I college soccer teams. After tomorrow, there'll be 4 left. That's hard. But these guys, like I said, have not been there, and you can tell. They're excited. They are. In that last 15 minutes, they knew they were going. We were winning 2-1, and they were going to make sure they weren't going to get scored on. So I'm happy for them.
when it was tied, I guess, when UConn scored that goal, like maybe 6-7 minutes before the half, you go into the halftime tied, what was kind of the mindset in there and the strategy going into the second half?
Yeah, strategy didn't change. I mean, we wanted to keep pressing and keep going, and we do well in the second half. You know, like we do well in games in the second half. And I didn't make one sub in the game. I didn't make one change. That so last week it was 9 field players, and today I didn't make one substitute. Those 10 field players did it. And as the game ticked down, and I thought about making some changes, I was going to leave that group on there to win the game, because those guys, they just had the look in their eye. They had everything about them, and that's the first time all year that I haven't made one change in a game.
In the defense, with I guess Zach starting tonight,
Yep.
they were pretty solid. It looked like.
I think Zach, it happened for a reason. Matt Brown got a card and couldn't play tonight, but he's more of a physical presence than Matt Brown. He's taller. And that matchup actually suited us today against 10 and 23, in particular number 10. That's just his size. That suited us today. So I think Zach had a good game, a very good game, all things considered. And I would say all those guys across the back did very well, Callie included.
UConn had a ton of size throughout the line. Did you have to do anything differently because of that?
It's on all. Look, they scored on a restart, and I felt like if they were going to score, that was going to be one of the ways. They have a lot of size, no question about it. But there's a way to deal with it, and I could relate it to basketball. You got to get a body on a guy. You know what I mean? You got to do what we call put him off, so he doesn't have a free header. And a guy a foot smaller than another guy, as long as he's backing into him and using his back and his rear end and putting him off. And that's what we've spent a lot of time this week, because we knew that would be an issue, and they did a great job.
Cal and Maryland tomorrow. Do you have a preference there? Would you like another shot at Maryland, perhaps?
There's part of me that would like another shot at Maryland. There's part of me that would like to play another team. So I said last week, just give us the next game. Give us the next game. We know we'll be in a great environment. We'll be up for it. The field will be good. We're excited for it, whoever it is.
It's just kind of an instinctual thing, and the ball popped up, and I didn't really have time to think about it. It just kind of happened really quickly, and luckily after we got that goal, we were able to bunker in and finish out the game, which was most important. It was probably like a half bicycle kick.
Had you ever scored a goal like that in such a?
I've scored a bike, but not in a game like this before. This was just completely different.
Just a high school game? Or?
An academy game a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bicycle kick, in general, that's kind of a high risk kind of play. Or?
When it comes off, it looks really good. When it doesn't come off, you kind of look a little dumb. So luckily, it came off for me today.
Did Zach got a foot on the ball, kind of popped it over?
Yeah, I don't even remember exactly how the ball just popped up. I just remember seeing it in the air at the last second and reacting to it. So.
Ryan, how would you describe kind of the reaction of the player? George has been to the College Cup, but he said for you guys it's the first time, and he was happy to see you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the whole team is very excited. We have a little extra bounce in our step, but we're gonna enjoy it tonight and just turn the page tomorrow. And because they're still unfinished business, we got to go to the College Cup and make our mark. So.
When you come to Virginia, do you expect to go to College Cups periodically? Is that one of the reasons?
Yeah, I mean, coming to this school, I mean, historically, and they have a very great tradition of always making a run in the playoffs. And in the beginning of the season, we talked about that. We wanted to leave our mark because we want to add to the history of this program. So, Final Four, we're trying to go for it.
What did you think of UConn? I mean, were they like kind of what you expected coming in and game plan for? Or?
Yeah, all week we've been watching video. We know they had two great forwards, big bodies that we had to double down on. And I mean, they were everything we expected them. They were a great team. They moved the ball well, and the two forwards held the ball up really well, so it made it difficult for us. But we packed it in. We did really well defensively, shut those guys out, and then just did our thing offensively. So.
You got a great cross from Darius on your first ball. Was that just a question there?
Yeah, Darius did all the hard work. I mean, he played a great ball all week in practice. He's been doing really well for us, holding the ball up and getting those crosses in. So he crossed the ball in, and all week in practice we've been making good runs near post. I did that, and just it was a matter of me just being in the right spot. Darius did the work.
How important was it to get that first one, did you think?
I think it was really important. We wanted to set the pace early, the first 15 minutes, to set the pace that we were here. That I mean, we're the home team. We wanted to send a message that we're not going to roll over. So it was really important to get that first goal.
Well, the team is obviously peaking now. What's different about maybe the way the team is playing now than it did in September?
I think in practice we just are really energetic. I mean, typically teams in the end of the season, they're lackadaisical or they're mentally or physically just exhausted. I think this team is we're just getting started. I think we're very energetic in practice, and it's showing out on the field.
Surprised, George said this is the first game all season he didn't make any subs. Do you guys have plenty of adrenaline at the end?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about this team is we have a lot of depth, so anybody who comes on the field will do good for us. I think it was just a matter of the game and dictating it that we were used to this pace of the game, and that we wanted to just remain packed in with that. So.
You have not always been a big goal scorer, and now this is two games in which what's changed for you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with the teammates around me. They've picked me up. Last year I had a pretty hard season with an injury. So coming back from that, I felt really good. I prepared myself really well before the season started. And it's just the teammates around me. Playing with the guys, this group of talent, I mean, it makes you look so much better. So.
Jordan, just going back to your goal, like right before it, you guys almost scored.
Yeah.
What kind of happened right before there? George seemed to think that maybe you had scored and the goalie was over the line or something, or we didn't have a great view of it. So
Yeah.
maybe you could answer that too.
His goal?
Or
It was right before. I don't remember what happened
when you
right
almost
before.
scored. I think you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that the one?
Right. Okay,
was
yeah.
yours or
Scotty,
second?
yeah. I mean, Scotty played a great ball in, and I was in the right spot. Nobody was really marking me, so I headed it, and they did a good job of keeping one guy on the line. And it was just, I headed it, and he knocked it off the line because he was there.
The
Unlucky.
defender knocked it off the
Yeah,
line?
the defender.
Okay, so that's what George was probably thinking may have been
Right.
over the line.
Yeah.
Did you have a view of whether he was in the goal?
Honestly, it happened so fast, I didn't really
Yeah,
see
I think
it.
it was pretty close. He was probably standing right on the line.
Jordan, you're a first-year guy.
Yeah.
You're 1-for-1 going to the College Cup. Can you tell what it means maybe for the older guys who've come up short in previous years?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I think the one thing that's nice about our team is that we have a lot of young guys. So they went through it last year. A lot of the starters actually went through it for the first time last year, and they had a bad taste in their mouth. And then after we lost in the final of the ACC tournament, a couple of the senior guys, they were kind of down because that was maybe their last shot at it. So a lot of us are trying to do it for them because we let them down once. We don't want to do it again, and we just want to keep moving forward.
Goal, women are up.
Jordan, could you have seen this coming at the beginning of the season that you guys could be standing here now in the College Cup?
Yeah. I mean, we started the season 1-3, but we felt like we were a much better team than the record showed. We just had some mental lapses a lot at the beginning of the season. We weren't defending as stoutly as we are now, so we figured once we turned that around, we knew we'd be able to make a run. And George had been telling us from the beginning of the season that we were going to get it going. It was just a matter of time. So to see that actually happen, it feels great.